Next, a couple of resolutions of proclamation. The first is for Fire Prevention Week. We have folks here?
I believe we do. We do.
Okay, we'll do it out front then.
Yes, sir. Just marks what we said.
All right, first is the resolution of proclamation for Fire Prevention Week. May I have the following motion? Whereas according to the National Fire Prevention Association, this year's Fire Prevention Week campaign is Look, Listen, Learn, Be Aware, Fire Can Happen Anywhere. Whereas East Brunswick's fire responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention and protection education. And whereas committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting our town, including our educational community, the East Brunswick Public Schools welcome East Brunswick Fire and Emergency Services personnel into our schools to educate our students. Now therefore be it resolved that the East Brunswick Board of Education recognizes October 7th through 13th, 2018 as Fire Prevention Week and encourages all the people of East Brunswick to heed the important safety messages of Fire Prevention Week 2018 and to support the many public safety activities and efforts of East Brunswick's fire and emergency services. And be it further resolved that the East Brunswick Board of Education appreciates the efforts of East Brunswick's fire and emergency services personnel to make our community a safe place in which
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Becker.
Second.
Second by Mr. Hahn. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Welcome. So this is what triggers, I asked Zach also, this is what triggers the posters and things that our kids are making in our schools.
Yes, that's correct.
Contests and things like that. What else goes on to recognize fire prevention in our schools? Yeah, you have a second. It's that important.
So this week, I attended the program at Memorial School for our kindergartners. Our youngest learners are always greeted by the firefighters and Sparky, the firefighting dog. So they get to see what safe is. They get to see a firefighter in all of his gear or her gear, so that if they were to ever experience an emergency or be somewhere, seeing a firefighter would not be frightening to them. So it was really nice at Memorial School. John Bassano was the brother of one of the kindergarten teachers there, so it was really neat to have sort of a family affair at Memorial just the other day.
All right, great. Thanks again.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, next is a resolution of proclamation for National Principals Month. We have a following motion. Whereas schools inspire the next generation of professionals, political leaders, artists, educators, and others who contribute to a healthy and prosperous society. And whereas principals and assistant principals are responsible for providing instructional leadership and professional management in our schools. And whereas principals and assistant principals set the academic tone for their schools and work collaboratively with teachers to develop and maintain high curriculum standards, set performance goals and objectives, and ensure high-quality instruction. And whereas school principals and assistant principals are responsible for the safety of their students and staff and the security of the school. And whereas principals and assistant principals are key to implementing state and federal education reforms in New Jersey. And whereas the month of October 2018 has been declared National Principals Month and is dedicated to recognizing the significant contributions of our nation's principals and assistant principals and the enthusiasm they have for providing quality educational experiences and guidance to their students. Whereas the East Brunswick Board of Education recognizes and appreciates the skills, dedication, and commitment of its principals and assistant principals and the challenges they face daily. Now therefore be it resolved that the East Brunswick Board of Education recognizes and commends its principals and assistant principals for their continued service to our children.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Becker,
Second.
second by Mrs. Shaw. Any discussion? Mrs. Becker.
So we have 11 buildings, 11 schools that are like small towns, each one. They're also like a small business, so I guess you could think of the principal as a combination mayor, CEO, and the assistant principal, the assistant mayor, and COO. But they also have to be educational leaders. They also have to have a lot of PR, dealing with the public, parents, and they do it all. I don't know how, but they do it all, and they do it all successfully, because each of our buildings has its own special flavor and culture, and it's very, very carefully, thoughtfully run by these wonderful administrators who do think of them as their second, sometimes first homes. And we can't thank you enough.
I also wanted to mention that under the Every Student Succeeds Act, that principals have finally been recognized as really being the difference when it comes to student achievement. That buildings that have strong leadership and professional development are buildings that produce our best students. So I think that this is something that was a relatively new thought in student achievement, and I just want to say that we are so grateful to have the leadership in all of our buildings that we have, and congratulations, principals, you deserve this.
Select.
So I agree with everything you're saying, but I also want to put a little personal spin on it, because I've said this before. One of the greatest things to me is how personal these principals are. And since I'm going to be celebrating my 30th anniversary, a reunion for East Brunswick High School this weekend, it makes me
Wow.
think about
Oh my
the fact.
God.
I know, right? I
Very.
graduated at 5. But
5 o'clock?
5 o'clock. But the important thing is, the reason I bring that up, other than the fact that I can't believe I've been out of this high school for 30 years, is the fact that if you ask me about my principals growing up, I don't have the kind of memories that the children of today have. And I will say, from the hand-holding and the love that's given at the elementary to the fact that every year at graduation, how excited these kids are to shake Dr. Vanilla's hand, I just think at every level, these principals are super. And I think that it's top down, so I appreciate it, because these kids think you're rock stars, and so do I. So.
What did they pipe through the high school in the class of 1988? That must have had her thinking.
1988.
Yeah.
Something with Bon Jovi,
Okay,
probably.
must have been something.
You graduated high school in 80?
Or maybe Foreigner or Journey.
Something. I was thinking something else, but anyway.
Oh.
I was
Excuse me, honors and AP student. Thank you very much.
That's okay. Well, I wouldn't expect anything else.
We can pull her permanent record.
We could do that later.
Hey, I
Oh,
graduated
yeah,
in
I'd like
88
to
also,
see
so
that.
calm down.
I would
Calm
like
down.
to see Lori's.
But I just wanted to add also, thanks to the principals and assistant principals as well. I mean, every building is so special, and it's really the hard work and dedication that you ladies and gentlemen put into it every day that makes our buildings the best blue ribbon schools ever. So thank you so much.
I said this last year, that when I was in elementary school, the principals we had, maybe this is a Pennsylvania thing.
Yeah.
You were afraid of them coming near you.
That wasn't Homer.
No,
If you
His
heard
name
this-
was Homer and Stuart.
Mrs. Somerville, Miss Felix, if you heard
afraid
them,
of him.
something was wrong. Somebody did something wrong. It is not the case today. Your principals still cover those things, discipline, of course, but it's a very different feeling now, as Lori pointed out. It is, they are the culture of the building, they set
It's
the
like a
tone of the
home.
building.
Yeah.
And it's just a little bit different than it was
Yeah, it's a lot different.
when I grew up in the 90s, so.
I'm not going to tell you when I grew
That
up.
wasn't a
Right over your head.
That's where you're going with it.
Let's start with one of
Yeah.
them, Joanne Schmilowitz. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Joanne.
There you go.
Stay right up here with us.
I know.
And Warnsdorfer's Joe Satari.
He's planning a party.
Okay, here we go. Hammarskjöld Sarah DiMaggio. Central's Danielle Danino. Churchill's Catherine Dragonetti. Lawrence Brooks, Elizabeth Dunn. Doing this all from memory.
There we go.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Liz.
Churchill's Ian Ivanovich. Hammershold's Dr. Mike Gaskell. Hammershold's Matt Hannis.
High school.
High school, sorry, high school, I got one wrong. Memorial, Cheryl Jones. All these
Congratulations, Joe.
Thank you.
Bound.
Bounds, Ron Lieberman. That's because he moved on us.
Congratulations, Ron.
Yes, Chittick's Megan Minetta. Frost's Loretta Payette.
Congratulations, Ron.
The high schools, Gwen Pazinka. Hammershold's Russ Petranco, who I confused with Matt Hannis.
Congratulations. High school.
High school's Christine C.
Christine, congratulations.
All right. Churchill's Mark Suter. And the high school's Dr. Mike Vanella. Got about half our folks here. Everybody else is celebrating National Principals Month. So. Thanks. Thanks, everybody.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.